Hello again, I'm PsychoGear and this is the Redstone request tutorial number 3, and this request was given by a Minecraft forum user named Herbstein, and the request was about a device that would count inputs so that if 3 or more inputs are on, then there would be an output. And yeah, this is the design that I came up with, and it's maybe a bit big, not as compact as it could be. I actually built a compactor design of this part over here, but I'm not sure anymore how it was built. But anyways, this is working. If you find a way to make this more compact, then you can do that. But yeah, what it actually does is it uses what I call pulse generators. So if you give an input, doesn't matter how long it stays on, it will always give an output of 1 tick over here, and you can actually change it to 2 ticks up to 4 ticks. And yeah, this is what I call a pulse generator, and I have put 2 of them on top of each other, and one of them is always inverted. So if you give an input, then at first the lower one is activated, so this is +1, and now when I take away the input, then the upper one is going to be activated, and this is -1. As you can see, and now it's +1 again and -1. So if you give an input, it counts +1. If you take away an input, it counts -1. As you can see, you have to remember this is not 1, this is 0. So the first one is 0 because it needs something to start with. And this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We have 5 inputs over here. And if I give an input anywhere, then it's going to be +1, +1, +1. And if I take away an input, it's -1 again, and -1. And -1. Okay, so I was actually able to make this much more stable because it broke pretty fast before I made some changes, but before you could not place it pretty fast because you would have to wait like half a second between placing and taking away inputs, otherwise it would break. Now you can place it pretty quick. You can just go ahead and place them right like that, like that, like that, and now there it is, the last one is active, and you can go ahead and take them all away, and it's on 0 again. So this works, but you do not want to give an input like taking it, placing it and taking it away like that. So it would actually give a -1 input just about 1 tick after the +1 input, and that you would not be able to track that. So you should not do that if you actually want this to happen. And I actually don't know why it actually did not count +1 and -1 right now, but it should do actually. If you just place it and take it away, then it counts +1 and -1 just like that. And now, as you can see, this is working pretty perfectly. But yeah, it was not that stable before, but now it is. And this is the part right behind here is what I call a two-way counter. I introduced the one-way counter in my very first Redstone request tutorial, and it's pretty simple. What the one-way counter does is it uses redstone blocks to enable its own deactivation and the activation of the next one. And this is pretty much this is a pretty simple design. If you activate the first one, then this block here is going to be pushed out, and this one too. So it activates its own deactivation. So it will actually enable its own deactivation. That's probably a better term. So here's an 1 tick input, and if you give it one tick input, it will pull this redstone block and it will push this redstone block, since this is also active. And now this redstone block is powering, so it powers itself again and it powers the next one. So if you then again give another one tick input, it would actually have pushed this redstone block, as you can see now. So it changes the state of itself and the next one, and that's how you can count +1 pretty easily. But anyways, this is a two-way counter, so I can count +1 and -1. So if you count +1, and I will just go ahead and put input back here so it stays on a correct state. So it's +1, now it's on 1, and what it does is, again, it enables its own deactivation for both inputs, +1 and -1. As you can see here, both pistons are extended, and it will extend the piston for -1 on the slot that is with a value of 1 less than the active slot, and it will also do that for +1 on the slot with a value that is 1 bigger than the active slot. And yeah, this is basically how it works. And if you now give an input, it deactivated itself, because if any of the inputs come through, then it will deactivate itself, and it activated this one on +1 because this one was active and it could travel through. It couldn't travel through here because there was no input here, and there was an input here, but this piston was not extended. So that's how it works, and this is how you can count +1 and -1 with two inputs. And as soon as it hits 3, you can just go ahead and connect those to each other with an OR gate. Pretty simple. So you can go ahead and make an OR gate with that. Oh, actually this wouldn't work, I see, because this would also power this piston down there, which is not exactly what we wanted, so we just have to go with like that. This should work now. No, it does not work also, so either, not also, either. It does not work either, so I will just change the time here. And so we'd have to go around here. And so this is now a pretty basic OR gate. And yeah, so this is how it works. This is how you can give an input if 3 or more inputs are active. You can of course change that. If you want 4 inputs or more, then you can just go ahead and take this one away, so it's only on 4 or more. That's pretty simple. And you can also, these slots are all equal, so you can just build more of them, so you can extend it as far as you want. You just need to stay inside of your chunk, of course. But yeah, this is how it works. It's working pretty stable. It's not that compact, but it works. And yeah, so there was, I don't know if I actually already mentioned this in this video. I think not. There was another user who posted a very compact design. This design was made by Grisdale, and this design was just in comparison to this here, it's just insanely compact. But yeah, this is my design. This is how it works. It works perfectly. So I want Grisdale actually wanted me to share this with all of you, because he wanted to see how I did it. And yeah, so that's it. And you can give me new requests if you want something to be done. You can just post it in my comments or by video answer or something like that. I don't know, your choice. Yeah, so that was my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.